Is going to mark the first day of my $100,000 account challenge. So what I'm looking to do is raise my account value from its current value up to $100,000. Right now, trading has been going pretty well. My current account balance is at $3,250. I made about 3,000 of those dollars last week. And so I'm going to be taking this account up to $100,000, and I want you guys to be able to follow along with me. I'm going to provide complete and full transparency. Every single time I take a trade, there's going to be a video talking about it. I'm going to briefly review every trade, my entries, my exits, my thought process during the trades, and what I did good and what I did bad, the results, all of it. And by doing this, it's going to hold me more accountable to my trading rules, which is where I personally struggle a lot. That's where I mess up. Although I'm at the beginning of becoming profitable, I still struggle with the discipline and the overtrading, mainly overtrading and then averaging down on my losers. That is where I mess up the most. I I am trying to only take, between 1 and 3 trades a day, but I often end up slipping and taking like 5 to 7 trades. So those are the two things that I really mess up. And trading is a long-term game, right? It's a sprint, it's not a marathon. It doesn't have to be perfect tomorrow. It needs to be a little bit better each and every day. And so, for those who are trading like me, going through the same things, this is going to show that you're not alone, and you can follow along with me through the progress and sort of learn through me as I'm doing it myself. Not only that, but it's also just going to hold me accountable to what I mess up and what I do well. And so, with that being said, let's start off this $100,000 account challenge with my trade ideas for this week. So, today is Tuesday, June 2nd, and let's talk about where the market's at. We've been ripping to new all-time highs almost every day, and when the market is making all-time highs like this, you have to lean long. There's going to be plenty of time to short the market when that time comes, but if price is moving forwards, we can't argue with that, right? We have to go along with whatever the market is doing, even if it's irrational to us and it doesn't make sense. So with that being said, here are my two main trade ideas. Most likely, we're not going to retrace to these levels, but if we do, I'm going to be looking for long opportunities here at about 752 on the S&P 500 and right here at about 748.50. And now one thing that's important to note is that we're not just blindly going long on these levels if the price gets there. We want to see some sort of confirmation, whatever strategy it is that you use. So whether that's the MACD turning green, or a bullish engulfing candle, or maybe it's a candle close above a higher high, inverse fair value gap, whatever strategy you're using, you want to see that sort of confirmation happening, which goes along with the level to confirm that buyers are stepping in where we want to see them. So these are the two main levels that I'm watching to go long. And similar to that on the QQQ, I'm looking to go long mainly from these levels, 731 and 721.50. And my support levels are also in between the two blue lines, so it's sort of a range. And I like doing it like that because there is no one like magic number that price is going to respect. It's more of a range generally where buyers should be stepping in. And so that sort of helps me keep that in mind when I'm trading live. The next trade idea is going to be on Nvidia. They've been doing pretty well. They have sold off from earnings a little bit, so I think everyone who I think people front ran the earnings here. They knew earnings was coming up, and so they bought in before earnings, expecting them to be good. And then as the earnings happened, we've sold off. but now we're starting to go back upwards again. Obviously, earnings was incredible, so I'm expecting this to be bullish, but the main area that I'm watching is this 218.50 level. As you can see right here, look at how many times we tapped into this level here. These would have, pretty much all of these would have been great long opportunities. And so if we get down to that level again and we're seeing confirmation that it wants to return upwards, then I am for sure going long. And also that makes a lot of sense because this could sort of be an inverted head and shoulders here if we respect this level. So that's the thought process. That's the trade idea right there. My next trade idea is on Amazon. Amazon is not as high quality of a setup in my opinion. Amazon has been selling off pretty steeply the past couple days, which I do not like, but we're sort of at a make or break level here at, what is this, 254, 255. And so if we hold above that level, then it could be sort of a liquidity sweep of this low and reversal. So that's a potential idea there, but definitely not one of my favorite ideas for this week. One of my other favorite ideas for this week has to be on Microsoft. As we can see here, we had this balance range right here where price sort of sat sideways and consolidated, and then we had this massive breakout to the upside. If we come back and retest the top end of this balance range, that's going to be an excellent long opportunity right here at about 431.50-ish. So that is that idea. And then we've also got an idea on Meta. Now, this one is kind of similar to Amazon. Meta has not been doing very well lately. We've had this large leg down from earnings, and then we sort of sat sideways, and then we had a false breakout to the upside, and then just collapsed back down into this like choppy range here. So within this range, it's probably not going to be the best day trade trying to trade inside this chop, but I like the idea that maybe we sweep below these lows here and then find support and continue upwards. But that is a little bit more risky, I think, because we're obviously in a downtrend here. We've got a high and a lower high, and then this would be a low. And so what would happen next, following along with the trend, would be a lower low, which very well could happen. So potentially a lower probability setup here, but I have to include it. I think that could potentially play out. Then also Tesla. Now, Tesla doesn't have anything immediately, but we are sort of making this bull pennant here. And I think good trades are potentially coming for this stock. Maybe if we got down back to about 415.35-ish, if we got down to there again, that might be a good long opportunity. Or maybe around like 418.50, that could potentially be a support level on the lower time frames. So there's potential in here, but definitely not one of my favorites. My favorite ideas come from Nvidia and Microsoft mainly. Then an honorable mention. This is not one that I'm watching very closely, but I do like how Robinhood has been moving lately. We've come down quite a bit, and we're breaking to the highs again here. If we zoom out to like the weekly chart, it seems like this is going to be sort of a higher low here, and it would make a lot of sense to me if we continue upwards here. And so I would love to see this stock continue to rally to the highs, but one thing, let me turn off the no gap candles. One thing that I'm liking is look at how long these wicks are. Those wicks are looking pretty good. Maybe it looks better with the gap candles on. But you know, we've been pretty strong the past couple days, and then these two candles, yes, they've sort of sat sideways, but these long wicks at the bottom tell me that buyers are still stepping into this. And so it seems like a bull flag that could still break out to the highs. And if it does that, this stock could just rip again like one of these 2 days. So this is something that I'm potentially watching, but I'm not really sure if I'm going to trade this one necessarily. So those are the trades this week that I'm watching out for, and stay on the lookout for a video update on this $100,000 challenge. Click like, click subscribe so you don't miss anything, and I'm going to see you very soon in the next video, most likely tomorrow after I take some trades. So I will see you then.